The Knicks have done it. One of the years I would have never predicted. I would have thought for plenty, the Knicks could win the East. They get it done in 2026 when I wouldn't have thought it was possible as the 3 seed in the East. Not that that matters at this point anymore, but the first title since 1973. Jalen Brunson's the MVP. We're going to talk with the voice of the NBA on ESPN Radio. Marc Kestecher was there courtside in the Garden at the Spurs Arena for the NBA Finals. We'll get his take on what he saw in person. Toto makes you think what?
Africa, the song.
Coming to SPAC on July 16th. We'll talk.
Do you think it's still as good?
Oh, yeah. Oh. I'm more of a Rosanna guy.
Oh, no. I mean.
But Africa's great.
Toto's one of the most, it's like one of the most iconic songs for me is Africa.
You asked, is it still great this year alone?
Yeah.
More than 2 billion streams on Spotify.
I mean live. Is it still great live?
Sure.
Okay.
We'll talk with the frontman, Joe Williams, son of the great composer, conductor, John Williams, here on the show. Also on Onorato and Miller, Kate Snow, NBC News anchor, burnt Hills-Ballston Lake grad. We are loaded up, but of course, a heavy focus on the NBA Finals. Let's go.
This is Onorato and Miller, sponsored by Alpenhaus.
So the Knicks win the NBA championship. The Carolina Hurricanes win the Stanley Cup, and it goes to Shane Gostisbehere, who had a really nice Stanley Cup final with the Carolina Hurricanes, former Union star and a defenseman, now 33 years old. Can you believe that he's 33 years old?
I mean,
national championship with Union was in 2014. How is that possible that I was there in Philadelphia in 2014 with that team winning a national championship? 12 years ago?
A long time ago.
Man, oh man.
Went in a hurry.
But the Ghost is still doing big things. We'll talk about how the Canes were able to get it done and how Gostisbehere played a big role in that victory. I don't know what you say about this NBA Finals other than people will look back 20, 25, 30 years from now and go, oh, Knicks took care of the Spurs 4-1. That won't tell the story unless you really click into the Wikipedia page about the 2026 NBA Finals to see that the Spurs are the only team in NBA Finals history to have held a double-digit lead in every first quarter of the games played in that series, and yet they still lost 4 of those 5 games.
They probably held the double-digit lead in
the second half,
much later
in many of those games. Yeah, but just could never close the deal. Up 29. How many were they up at one point in Game 5? 18 or 19, and just couldn't close the deal. And so credit to the Knicks, but also you've got to look at it if you're San Antonio, like how did we let this one get away as badly as we did? But
yeah, I mean, how did we let it get away is like one game. When you do it 4 times, now it's just on you. Like you didn't let it get away. You just blew the whole thing over and over and over.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, how do you let that one slip away is like, if it's a Game 7 and it's just out of reach, like you messed up a whole bunch.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't want to take the credit away from the Knicks. And I know you're not doing that, but clearly you're saying like, this is,
you got to close it. You got to close games. It'd be different if you did it twice and that forced a Game 7 and it, things, you blew it four games.
Yeah. Look, as a Braves fan in the 90s, I saw plenty of big games or opportunities slip away. You didn't capitalize on them as a team. And for everybody saying, oh, the Spurs are young, and we'll talk with Marc Kestecher about this later. The Spurs are young, they'll be back. There is no guarantee that they will be back all that soon. They're built to win for a long time, but we know how this goes with injuries and things, right? The Thunder were built to win for a long time. Then they didn't have Jalen Williams for the Western Conference Finals. So,
but they're young and they probably were ahead of the curve. I don't know that people would have said you're in the finals in year 3 of Wembanyama. So I still think they got there faster than maybe people thought they would, because I think people thought the Thunder were going to roll the East for the Nuggets, and they didn't. And then the Thunder were going to run the East for a long time. Yeah. Or, sorry, the West, and then they didn't. So it's one of those things. I get it,
but making the point here.
No, but I think that I think they got there sooner than people thought they would. So I think maybe there's more staying. And I'm not saying it's staying power over a long time, but I think you have the ability to get there multiple times.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, you certainly have the ability.
We'll see.
I just always
they're young.
Err on the side of, even though you appear to be ahead of the curve, that window closes quickly. So the Spurs certainly are lamenting the fact that they didn't close out some of those games. But again, the story is the Knicks here. 53 years. The parade will be on Thursday. It's going to be a mass of humanity in Manhattan on Thursday morning.
Are they letting people off from work downtown?
They are not closing schools in New York City.
Good luck getting to school.
Bad move.
Yeah.
The problem is science regions.
Yeah. Listen, I know.
Our Thursday in New York City. We were talking on Capital Regional Lifestyle Tuesday morning. We're doing the show live on a Tuesday evening. And we were talking about the fact that schools aren't closed in New York City and cutting school and all this stuff. And I raised my hand. I'm like, I've cut school multiple times to go experience something. Sure. A St. Patrick's Day parade in the city, a girls soccer final for my classmates.
State championship. Yeah.
So
the difference is you need
I didn't take Regents.
You need Regents to graduate.
I didn't have state exams.
Which one are you doing?
So you have to take the Regents. But boy, I would have found a creative way to, I don't know, move the parade or find a way to get out of school for those days. But anyway, how about this? First time, it's the highest rated NBA finals.
It's like we say this every next time, and maybe that's just because we're finding more ways to view things, and I don't know, are people more interested? I'm not sure. 20.5
million viewers, the average here. Game 5 peaked at it. I mean, 33 million is an absurd number, and it's the most watched NBA finals in 28 years. 1998, that was a Jordan year, so makes a little bit of sense. People, that was the last dance, right? People knowing, okay, this is it for the Chicago Bulls. Maybe more people tuned in than the Knicks obviously drove a lot of the ratings here. And so we looked at this last week, Ash, with the longest title droughts. That 53-year wait is over for the Knicks. So Clippers, Suns, Hawks, Kings, you're on the clock. I don't feel good about any of those teams winning anytime soon here.
I don't think so.
As we look at that. All right, Marc Kestecher, the voice of the NBA on ESPN Radio, coming up here on Onorato and Miller. Yep.
Love that.
Joe Williams, the lead man of Toto, coming to SPAC on July 16th. We'll talk about the enduring success of the songs like Africa, Rosanna, Hold the Line, and we'll talk with NBC News anchor Kate Snow as well. But first, we're doing this.
And now, Dirty, Difficult, and Done. Sponsored by Performance Industrial.
Good Miller's great squad at Performance Industrial. Never a job that's too dirty or too difficult for them to get it done. That industrial cleaning, epoxy flooring, all that stuff you need for your business. All right. LeBron James' time with the Lakers is apparently not done. Brian Windhorst of ESPN says the Lakers and LeBron are working on a new contract. Also trying to figure out a contract for Austin Reeves. We'll see which one of those comes first. Reeves likely to be a 4-year deal. I don't know. LeBron 1, 2. It's probably like 2 with a team option for the third or something like that, or to spread out the money a little bit here.
Or do you get 2 with an opt out? Like
after 1?
Yeah.
A 1 and a 1 kind of deal.
Yeah.
I like those contracts. Yeah. Yep. I'm a little surprised,
that he's not retiring?
No, that he isn't going to go play somewhere else. And I'm not talking about chasing a championship. And I'm thinking, like, is he enjoying it in LA?
He's playing with his kid,
with Luka, and maybe that's it. It's like, hey, this is job security for Bronny.
Yep.
Right? If LeBron stays with the Lakers,
as long
the
as
Lakers
I'm
are
here,
going to keep
he's
him.
going to be on my roster.
Correct. I don't know. I'm a little surprised that LeBron's career now appears likely to end in Los Angeles. Would have been fun to see him on kind of a farewell tour with Steph Curry and the Warriors.
No, nobody wants that.
Oh, I thought that would kind of be fun and entertaining. I thought, no?
Nah.
Huh. Okay. So back to the Lakers.
Don't go play with the enemy.
But they're buddies.
I know they're buddies, but how long do you talk about rivalries and matchups and greats? And he's had enough of people already blame him. Oh, you'd only won when he had the big three, and then he only won. You're gonna go play with Steph to try. And listen, they wouldn't win. It's not. It's not even about that. But.
Right. Then that's what I mean.
Weird.
It's not chasing rings.
Yeah.
I'm talking about enjoying, just actually enjoying your last season or two. And it didn't
be good enough.
It didn't appear to be like the fun was in LA anymore for him.
Yeah.
But okay.
Must be good enough.
Well, Los Angeles doing what he gets to do.
Not so bad.
Not a terrible thing. All right, we'll take a break here on Onorato and Miller. We'll come back. Marc Kestecher, the voice of the NBA on ESPN Radio, was there for the NBA Finals, calling those games, witnessing New York Knicks history. He's our guest. We're back in a minute.
Maybe this journey you're on has a purpose much greater than yourself. A purpose that goes beyond the field, the court, the gym. A crown awaits those who never give up. It's your time to dream again, to claim victory, and rise up. So what are you waiting for? It's time to rise. Claim your crown.
Grab the family and get on the water in style with a Barletta pontoon featuring the power of a Mercury outboard motor. You'll be slicing through the waves with a smoother, quieter ride, leaving you to relax and soak up the sun. Whether you're cruising with a family or tubing and skiing, Barletta and Mercury will give you the best ride on the lake. With their unmatched reliability and refined performance, Barletta and Mercury won't let anything hold you back from having a summer you'll never forget. So don't wait. Stop by Alpenhaus Boats and start your next adventure today. Check out our great selection on Route 30 in Amsterdam and online at alpenhausboats.com.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
Back on Onorato and Miller, now joined by the voice of the NBA on ESPN Radio, a Guilderland guy, Marc Kestecher. Always good to the Capital Region to give us some time, man. Great to see you, Mark. It was great to hear you on the call of Game 5 as well. Ashley and I were in the car for part of that game, flipped you on with PJ and Doris and George. I want to talk to us, though, first about the experience of witnessing a Knicks championship, something that many people watching this show have never experienced in their life. What was that like?
Yeah, it was so strange because how many times have we gone to Madison Square Garden and looked up at all those banners and all those retired numbers and the musical artists who've played there forever. But the one thing you notice is there's not been a basketball championship banner since 1973. And then after those run of 90s Knicks teams couldn't get it done, it was like being out in the desert lost for decades and wondering if it would ever happen again. So to see it happen and how it happened. I mean, it wasn't like this was the most dominant team of the NBA this year, but they were the most dominant team to end the year. So it was fun to see a team, quote unquote, team of guys led by Jalen Brunson get hot and finish it off.
All right, you're leading me to 2 points here. I'm going to hope I remember the second one if I'm any good at this job. But the first one is I asked Chris Ballard last week, who covered the NBA for a long time for Sports Illustrated, why this team? Because to your point, Mark, like the 90s Knicks had Hall of Fame guys. They had brand names, household names, right, that everybody kind of knew, and people are just learning about some of these Knicks. Why was this one different?
Yeah, I think one thing that certainly happened was the East was winnable this year. A major path opened for them, not having to face Boston or Detroit. That's not to take anything away from the teams they played, but clearly they were way better than Philadelphia in round 2 and Cleveland in round 3. And yet we saw a pattern of the last 2 years, even with a coaching change, was that no deficit was too big. We saw them come back against the Celtics in the second round last year, down 20 a couple of times. We saw it in game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals this year, down 22 with 8 minutes to go. So I think it was kind of that confluence of guys that have played together a long time, Mike Brown, a new coach who pushed all the right buttons. As good as San Antonio will be in the future, they clearly weren't ready yet. And the Knicks took every advantage, and they spotted them. I don't want to say they spotted them. The Spurs did a great job. I mean, defensively, offensive execution to build those double-digit leads. But they just had a knack for walking them down. And then Jalen Brunson just proving everyone who ever doubted him, which is everyone, maybe except his dad, that, he's a guy who is as clutch as it comes in the NBA.
Even Rick in the postgame, as I was watching, was like, I didn't see this coming. So maybe Jalen's the only one who believed it.
That's a good point. And Rick Brunson also reestablished that Patrick Ewing is the greatest Knick of all time. And yet Jalen put himself in very rare company. We're talking Walt Clyde Frazier, Willis Reed company, and probably it has to be because we count rings, right? In American culture, that's how you decide who's in your Mount Rushmore. He surpassed all those 90 Knicks with that win the other night.
Interesting. For the longest time, Mark, if you just looked at the list of NBA championship teams, the overwhelming majority of them, not all of them, because you could go back to like the 04 Pistons, but the overwhelming majority of those teams had multiple Hall of Famers, right? Not just one who carried it, but if you were going to win a title, you had multiple Hall of Famers, and maybe it was only 2, but it was still that. I don't know that this team did. And so maybe is it Brunson taking less money? Is it some of the other things you pointed out too, right? For them to be able to kind of end the drought here. You witnessed it. Can you give us some perspective about why these pieces just fit perfectly?
Yeah, it's your point is well taken. You think back just in the last 25 years, it's hard to come up with a championship team that didn't have indeed 1 or 2 Hall of Famers. Jalen Brunson, I think, his status to Springfield's already done now that he's got the college championships and an NBA championship and led them directly and is an MVP. But, who else on that team, is going to end up in Springfield with him? Maybe Karl Anthony Towns has, a great finish to his career.
Yeah.
But the point's well taken because I think offensively, Jalen is the closer. Karl Anthony Towns is kind of the point center during this playoff run was huge. And then guys just, took turns to step up, whether it was OG Anunoby with, the play that's going to be talked about, for a century at the end of game 4 to pull off that great comeback.
I said, Mark, that sequence, like the LeBron chase down block lives forever. I get that. But the block and then the tip in, in Knicks lore, like to me, that will be burned in my memory.
100%. And for me, I mean, it's already the best game I've ever done. I could tell you that right now, because people will ask, like, what's the greatest game you've ever been a part of as a play-by-play? And I was the studio host for that LeBron chase down block. And literally our position is about, 30 rows up on the baseline. I'm looking through the backboard. I see Andre Iguodala coming toward me. I didn't see LeBron James until, that hand swiped it away. So that was the best game 7 I've been a part of. But this series, 5 games, comeback games, that game in particular, we were just talking about, to come back from 29 down and then have that sequence at the end. I don't know how you beat that, except the 7th game where it goes overtime, and guys are trading shots and there's a game winner, something like that.
You're right, man. 25 years from now, people will see the series won by the Knicks on Wikipedia 4-1 and go, oh, New York handled San Antonio.
Yes.
What they won't have is the context that you have.
That's true. And I don't know if it'll be the same. Like you see the Carlton Fisk home run in 1975 down the line, but that wasn't the game winner. That didn't end the series. We've had other aspects of sport where you don't realize, even the Buckner era in the Celtics, the Red Sox Mets series, that didn't end it. There was still a 7th game. I wonder if history will show that game in that sequence, and yet people will forget, well, that wasn't the championship. They still had to go to San Antonio and win it. But you have that kind of moment You don't realize it when you're doing it. I think we realized it in the building. I think we all, and everyone watching or listening, realized this was a special, special moment. The Garden had something to do with it. Whether you like, seeing the celebrities and the former athletes ringing the front row is to taste, but there was just this whole confluence of everything on a special night at the Garden.
What was that like to be in, for people who have never experienced the Garden when it's alive? What was that Game 3 specifically like?
Yeah, it was, it shook. It literally shook. We were in a hockey broadcast booth. I've never called a game from that high, but fortunately we've seen these teams enough that body shapes are enough. You kind of know who's down there, but I did hesitate. If you listen to Mike Breen's call, you listen to my call, the OG Anunoby part comes at the back end of the call because there were so many hands up there, and it's apparent to us now that he made that run from the 3-point line, but you're watching the ball and a human being comes flying out of nowhere. And this, I swear, this burst of energy comes from the floor and swells up, and you felt it. And then that booth is tethered to the roof, and I'm literally feeling the building shake. And I believe that's why my call said the building is rocking, because it was. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Okay. What is it like to watch Victor Wembanyama up close?
Oh, it's a fun experience. I know he's taken some flack, and many are now going to label him a villain, much like OKC. The goodwill turned after a year of winning a championship. And my partner PJ Carlosimo pointed out right at the end of our broadcast, he was unhappy that more of the Spurs didn't come out and shake hands. But we'll leave that aside. To watch him warm up, to watch his in-between days, from what we can see, how he prepares for games, how he takes care of himself, how he's looked long-term of how he wants this career to go, how he's become a leader at age 22, for a franchise that has, put out a ton of great players over the years. He buys into the system. He's amazingly talented at that size. But what we found out in the last couple of weeks is there's still growth. There's a lot of growth to come, both, maturity and game-wise too. And that's, I think, even more scary because so close to being the dominant force. He already is, a unanimous defensive player of the year. He'll get better. They'll work on making sure his endurance, so he's not winded. I don't know if they were worried about the deep vein thrombosis that we didn't even talk about. Yeah. We weren't even sure what his career was at stake the year before last. And I think with that in mind, they watched his minutes. He averaged less than 30 minutes per game. And when they called on him at the most important part of the season, it wasn't there. So he's got some work to do, but he's fascinating to watch. He's incredibly smart. He speaks a second language better than I speak my first language. And so I'm very impressed by him, and I look forward to his growth.
Are there teams of the past that could be cautionary tales if you're a Spurs fan? Like, I mean, I won't put you in this boat. I'll put me in the boat, though. The Nuggets win a title, and you look at the core, and you're like, oh, they'll probably win 2 or 3 more. The Celtics, Brown and Tatum they'll probably win 2 or 3 more. Even when they lost to the Warriors, it was like, this team's going to be around forever. They'll win to OKC. Oh my gosh, look at the young core they've got, the way they've built the draft capital and how they've turned it into, winning picks, everything. I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're the Spurs, it's great to get there as young as they are, but this is, you see it every night in the league. Like, this is not easy to do.
No, it's a great point, and it is a cautionary tale. If it isn't, we should start picking up on it, because we are prisoners of the moment when we think of the greatest thing we've ever seen, and we, look down the road at what could be. You need to take advantage when the opportunity strikes, and I think that's what we noticed more than anything was, yes, San Antonio was a team that is supremely gifted to the point that the Knicks, who were going to go down as one of the most clutch teams in NBA history, they had big leads at the start of every game. Their defense was amazing. The Knicks couldn't even find any room in the paint to score. And yet, did they waste an opportunity? Is Oklahoma City and Sam Presti going to retool or just get healthy? If they were healthy, it's probably an easy argument that they knock off San Antonio in less than 7 games. So, yeah, I think your point's well taken. We open these huge windows for these young teams, especially in the West, which we see as, so much better than the Eastern teams. Yeah. And then those windows all of a sudden shut tight. Or in Oklahoma City's case, what's that little phrase that's in your side mirror? Objects may appear closer. The San Antonio Spurs did that to Oklahoma City and bypassed them. So it's a great point.
Yeah. A lot has been made about Jalen Brunson leaving money on the table, and good for him. It has reminded me of Tom Brady never being the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, and that Patriots roster being championship worthy, even if you felt like there weren't, again, multiple Hall of Famers on that offensive side of the ball for the best quarterback ever to do it. What's the future of the Knicks here, though, too? Because it's quick. You get to that apron and the second apron. It's tough, as we've seen in any sport, to keep a championship team together. But, these Knicks fans will be hungry to be real contenders again. Yeah, for sure. 8 teams, 8 years, 8 different champions. Yeah, that's right. Kind of what these rules have brought to the NBA. The nice thing about the Knicks, when you look at next year, and we're assuming health, the entire starting five's under contract. So they'll make some changes or have to make some changes depending on what happens from the bench. But it's such a grueling run. The thing I give them a really good chance is I don't know what Cleveland's going to do. Cavaliers talk about, I don't even understand the aprons. I just know that they're the only team in the second apron, and I know that's bad news. And I'm hearing James Harden's probably getting that 2-year contract extension. So I don't know what they do. They may have to make a trade. Boston, are they in the Giannis sweepstakes? Yeah. Who knows? We'll see where that ends up. Detroit, I think, learned some lessons, but are they going to give Jalen Duren the max? And is that a team that's going to break through to Orlando? Are they going to be healthy? And so it's a long way to say there will be competition for the Knicks, but I think they have a great chance to get to the finals again. And then it's a matter of, are they facing OKC or is it a rematch with San Antonio? So they're in position. We just know how long of a season it is. And I always just have to remind myself they were down 2-1 to Atlanta. Mike Brown's having his job questioned. Players on the team, should we bench them? And it's amazing how things turn in a hurry. So I'm so terrible at the prediction business. Me too. But for the Knicks, it appears, things are set up potentially for them to do the unthinkable in the modern day NBA, and that would be win back-to-back. You've referenced the perch that you were calling games from at Madison Square Garden, not courtside like San Antonio, just because of the setup of the Garden there. But were you courtside for pregame warmups, shoot around, when maybe there were some celebrities milling around that caught your eye? Yeah, by the time we have to get upstairs to begin our pregame show, I think the celebs just kind of appear. Like, it's amazing to me how in a regular game, not the games that were played at MSG, because everyone was asked to come early with all the extra security, I'm always wondering, like, the national anthem starts, I'm like, where is everybody? And then the national anthem ends, there is everybody. All of a sudden they all appear. There's like magical tunnels or something to come out. But so I didn't get my close encounter, with Taylor Swift, or I did see Spike Lee. I saw a ton of, old Knicks, John Starks, Charles Oakley, not in New York, in San Antonio, Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing's daughter works for the league, so I've gotten to know her over the years. And it was, for me, as I've lost all my fandom, but as a Knicks fan growing up, it was fun to see them on almost an everyday basis together. His daughter, Randy, was a volleyball star who actually played with our Katie George, one of the sideline reporters at Louisville. So it was super nice to see those guys and Walt Clyde Frazier to be there on the floor in San Antonio, just to go down and shake Mike Breen's hand after the championship, to realize what this must have meant for him as a Knicks announcer and a New York City native. Those were the indelible thoughts I'll take away from this championship. Yeah. Mark, thank you so much, man. Doing this with us on short notice, on your time off, as brief as it is, we appreciate it, man. Always fun listening to your calls and getting a chance to catch up whenever we can. Thank you. Always great chatting with you, Chris. Thank you.
For 62 years, Alpen House has helped families make more time for each other, away from the rush. away from the routine, and closer to the moments that matter. Because an RV isn't just about where you go. It's about having a place where everyone can come together. It's our 62nd anniversary sale, only at Alpenhaus, the Northeast premier outdoor destination. Don't put off that first trip. Right now, get this Coachman Leprechaun motorhome for as little as $575 a month.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
Marc Kestecher, Ash, the voice of the NBA on ESPN Radio, saw it all happen with the New York Knicks. Pretty cool.
From high up.
Yeah.
At MSG.
Been to the Garden before where you have to be way up, like press level?
I've been to the Garden before just to see a game.
Yeah.
But not
it's
that high up, I don't think.
There.
It doesn't. Yeah, I don't think I was in that because it always felt more like hockey rinks feel like they're very vertical.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel like the Garden felt that way.
Okay.
But
yeah, I feel like the Garden is very straight up and down because it's an old arena where the other ones, to your point, like Barclays,
they fan a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know. I didn't get that feeling when I was there, but I've only been there for a game once for a Knicks game, but I don't think I've been there for anything else.
Okay.
So only once, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Carolina Hurricanes win the Cup, second time in franchise history, 6 games over the Vegas Golden Knights, first time in 20 years. Mm-hmm. The story for us here on Onorato and Miller is the fact that former Union star Shane Gostisbehere had 6 points in those 6 games. He had a really nice playoff run for Carolina, even better when it mattered most in the Cup. You put the stats in here, 1 goal and 5 assists. He had a game where he had 2 assists.
Mm-hmm. 2 games where he had 2 assists.
2 games where he had 2 assists, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Great to see from him, 33 years old. There were moments in his career where it looked like injury might derail it. He always played well when he was healthy.
Yep.
Going back to the Flyers, this is his second stint with Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. And so, but you wondered, like, is an injury or two going to ruin it for him? He's got 1 year left on his current deal with Carolina.
Even if that's
maybe he gets an extension, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I would think the Hurricanes find a way maybe to extend him for another 3 or 4 years, and you're 37, 38, and you could hang it up if you wanted to.
You for sure could.
Yeah.
You could hang it up after 34 if you wanted to. You've got a Stanley Cup and probably
done
okay.
Shane. Make that money.
He is.
A 2014 national champion.
Talk about, listen, we talk about Jalen Brunson winning at multiple levels.
Yeah.
Villanova, and then in the NBA with the Knicks. Shane Gostisbehere, I would say a lot harder to win a title at Union playing hockey than maybe Villanova playing basketball.
Yeah.
So the comps are there.
Yeah, and if you think about his 3 years at Union, I'm not going to get this exactly right. I'm sure I'm off, but no, I might be right on here. His freshman year, a run to the Frozen Four in Tampa. Then his sophomore year, they lose in Providence. Mm-hmm. And then his junior year, they win the national championship.
Lose in Providence. They got hammered in Providence, right?
They did.
Yeah.
I think that's right. I mean, 2 trips to the Frozen Four for a kid from Florida.
Mm-hmm. Not bad. Not a lot of hockey players from Florida. In the pros there are now.
Not too bad at all, right? Yeah.
Tuesday night show.
Yep. And Sam is referencing the fact that Ashley went into the Shaker High School Alumni Hall of Fame on Monday night this week, which was awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. Really nice.
Yeah.
With some very cool people.
Yeah. Sam is still loving it for the Knicks. Never thought I'd see him win it.
A lot of people say that.
Mm-hmm.
Never thought we'd see it.
Mm-hmm. And Mary says, congrats, Ash.
Thanks, Mary.
every Sunday.
Oh, we love when people catch us on Sunday mornings.
No doubt. I love that you found us here on social media, streaming live on a Tuesday night, but I love that you find us
with your coffee on
Sunday mornings. More people find us at 6 a.m. on Sunday than I ever would have imagined.
Me
so
too.
we really so appreciate that. All right, when we come back here on O&M, the front man for Toto, Joe Williams.
Make waves this summer. Shop Sea-Doo at Alpenhaus Boats, Route 30 in Amsterdam.
Nothing better than a chance to unwind at the end of the day. And a Wellness Spa can turn your home into the perfect place to relax, catch up, and enjoy a few quiet moments. With powerful hydrotherapy jets, soothing lighting, and thoughtful design, every soak melts the day away. More relaxation, more time together, more moments to look forward to. Right now at Alpenhaus, step into your own Wellness Spa for as little as $7,995. Alpenhaus Pools and Hot Tubs, Amsterdam and Clifton Park.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
When you hear the name of the band Toto, you think of the immediate hits, right? Africa, Hold the Line, Rosanna. Incredible number of streams, though. Yeah, records sold, but now streams on Spotify. This is a band that spans generations of fans, and it's coming to SPAC. Thursday, July 16th, Joe Williams with Toto with us here on Capital Region Lifestyle. Joe, thank you so much for doing this. It's great to see you. Can you explain why this band resonates with even younger audiences now?
Well, first of all, good to see you, and thanks for having me here today. Listen, when you have a song like Africa, it explains quite a bit. It's one of these songs, and it's not only that one; it's other ones as well. But that song in particular has had so many lives over the years, showing up in Stranger Things episodes of other television shows, on pieces of it on rap artists' records, that kind of thing. And then Weezer did it in the mid-teens, I think, as a single, and it brought in a whole new generation. We found that our concerts had much younger crowds, especially after that. And, not to mention the people who were fans of it back in the beginning, who brought their kids in, and those kids are now grown up and parents now. So it's amazing. But, when you've got a tune like Africa with that anthemic chorus, it's sort of the gift that keeps giving.
Back in the day, MTV was the place to be, right? Every band, every artist wanted to be featured on MTV. But now a song like Africa has more than 2 billion streams on Spotify. Hold the Line, more than 1 billion streams on Spotify. When you hear those numbers and streaming platforms, what does that make you think about the current state of how people access your music?
Well, listen, it's there's pluses and there's minuses, though. I mean, the general is just that less actual physical product is being sold, and in the old days that was kind of where you made your money, at least from a business standpoint. But listen, streaming is a wonderful thing. I mean, I think everybody in our group is all in on it. It's an easier way to get to the music, and more people can get to it, and there's still a living to be made within the streaming format. So listen, the amount of streams that we've gotten on the big 3 hits that this band has is it's overwhelming.
Christopher Cross and the Romantics with you as well at SPAC on Thursday, July 16th. And I always find it interesting when musicians or bands, groups that kind of come up at the same time are friendly all these years later. Why is this a partnership or a friendship that just still works?
Well, with regards to Christopher Cross, he's a dear friend and has been forever. I mean, some of the guys in Toto back in the 80s played on his records, were the musicians sort of behind the scenes on some of Christopher Cross's greatest hits, and so the association goes back a long way, and he's remained a dear friend. He's a sweetheart of a guy. We love touring with him. He's great. His band is great. His crew is great. And when you have that going on the road, it makes life a lot more fun and a lot easier. And he's got I can't even count how many hits this guy has. His whole set is hits. And he's also a very underrated guitar player. So you're gonna see something special with him.
All right, TotoOfficial.com to get tickets. We'll also link it through our website, WNYT.com/links to go see Toto, Christopher Cross, and the Romantics at SPAC on Thursday, July 16th. Joe, of course, you are famously the son of composer, conductor John Williams, and I know you got a chance to collaborate with your dad on a number of projects. What was your growing up like with music in the house, in the car? I have to imagine you was always around.
It was. I mean, between both my parents, my mother was a singer and an actress, back in the day, and did a bunch of Broadway stuff and was a great stage performer. I always gravitated towards what she did. I always wanted to be a performer, on stage, that kind of a thing. But I'm the third child of three, so when I was brought home, everything was already going on, and so music was really sort of my first language before anything else. And listen, I mean, it felt normal to us as it would for anybody, in their home with their parents and whatever they did for a living. So it seemed normal. It didn't take very long before we were all very, very amazed with what my father was accomplishing in his career, and it was always steadily sort of moving up as he got more and more work and started working with greater and greater filmmakers and stuff. And I'm so proud of him. He's 94 now, and he's got Disclosure Day coming out in a day or two. So. He's still at it, It's the 30th film he's done with Spielberg, and I couldn't be more proud of him. He's still sharp as a tack and doing really, really well. So he's amazing and has definitely been my greatest teacher and mentor and everything you can imagine.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Talk about a partnership, a friendship like Steven Spielberg and your father. 6 Grammy Awards. Musicians Hall of Fame for Toto. As you performed all over the world, we'll take SPAC, our venue, on July 16th off the table so you don't feel the pressure of playing to the home crowd here. How about a Pinch Me venue that you played for a first time, multiple times, where you're like, man, this is a crowning achievement to play here?
Well, for me, on the other coast, and also just with my upbringing and my family and all of that, I have to pick the Hollywood Bowl just because it's so much a part of our lives and a huge part of my father's life. They actually just named the stage after him because he's played there so many times and done his movie music there. So I've been hanging around that place my whole life. But in 2024, on my birthday, no less, we had the opportunity to play there to a almost sellout crowd, and it was really something special. There's some places I still would love to play, like Madison Square Garden, a few places like that. But then there was an arena in Amsterdam that was a lot of fun, where we filmed the show. And listen, the world is just chock full of great venues and wonderful places to play. But if I have to pick one as an LA boy, it would be the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah, who could blame you? Well, look, let's get the Knicks championship drought out of the way first, and then we'll get Toto to the Garden here before too long. Joe Williams will be at SPAC with us on Thursday, July 16th. Again, WNYT.com/links to get tickets to this great show, also featuring Christopher Cross and the Romantics. Joe, thank you so much for the time talking with us at the NBC in Albany, New York. We'll see you in less than a month.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me. It's great to talk to you.
Using the highest quality materials, artisanal craftsmanship, and creative design, we're ready to help bring the vacation experience to your own home. With custom-designed Legacy Edition pools, we're confident we can turn your backyard into your own personal oasis. And we'll be by your side through the whole process. Get outside this summer with Alpenhaus. be sure to visit our 16,000 square foot showroom expansion on Route 30 in Amsterdam. Alpenhaus Pools and Hot Tubs, Amsterdam and Clifton Park.
Maybe this journey you're on has a purpose much greater than yourself. A purpose that goes beyond the field, the court, the gym. A crown awaits those who never give up. It's your time to dream again, to claim victory, and rise up. So what are you waiting for? It's time to rise. Claim your crown.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
All right, back on Onorato and Miller. Toto, Africa.
It's going to be awesome at SPAC.
Absolutely. All right, let's keep this thing rolling here. Kate Snow, NBC News anchor, next on O&M.
Maybe this journey you're on has a purpose much greater than yourself. A purpose that goes beyond the field, the court, the gym. A crown awaits those who never give up. It's your time to dream again, to claim victory, and rise up. So what are you waiting for? It's time to rise. Claim your crown.
Summer feels better on a Yamaha. The 2026 Yamaha boat lineup is here at Alpenhaus Boats. Built for relaxing, cruising, water sports, and making the most of every day on the water. With sleek design, confident handling, and smart features throughout, Yamaha delivers performance you can feel and comfort everyone can enjoy. See the 2026 lineup today and discover why nothing feels like a Yamaha. Alpenhaus, the Northeast's premier outdoor destination.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
Our next guest on Capital Region Lifestyle is a very familiar face to the Burnt Hills area. She grew up in Burnt Hills. She's a graduate of the Burnt Hills-Ballston Lake School District. She's also a co-anchor for NBC News Daily on NBC and senior national correspondent. The list goes on.
Yeah,
we
big
have
stuff.
Kate Snow joining us for CRL, one of our first guests here on our new show. Kate, thank you so much for saying yes to this and chatting with us.
Oh, of course I would say yes to you guys. Caitlin and Chris, it's great to see you. I'm super happy to be part of the family and your new show. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. We really appreciate that. So as I mentioned, right, you co-anchor NBC News Daily, which will now be switching to a 3 p.m. time slot with Zincle Esamoah. You're also a senior national correspondent. You have a podcast, The Drink with Kate Snow. You also are a singer. You launched an EP album a couple years ago. You're a mom.
What are we doing here?
I mean, when do you sleep? How do you balance all these amazing things that you're doing?
Oh, well, I mean, first of all, I'm not doing all those things all the time at once, right? I'm sure it's the same for you guys. You juggle, right? You work from one project to the next. The daily job that I do, NBC News Daily, is my main focus right now. So I'm on, in Eastern time, I'm on from 2 to 4 every afternoon. And thank you for putting us on at 3 o'clock right before your local coverage, because I know that's going to draw a lot of people, more people, hopefully, to us. So we appreciate that. That's my main gig. And then, you know, I do a lot of correspondent work. I was actually just on a call about a story right before I came to you guys, a really complicated medical story that I'm working on. And I love doing that, but I do it a little less than I used to just because of the daily anchoring takes up most of my time. And then, yeah, the drink is a monthly time where I sit down with someone and we talk over a drink of their choice about how they got to where they are. So it's always somebody pretty celebrity, pretty well known. I just taped one on Friday. That's going to be great. It's coming out soon. And then the music is just for fun, guys. You understand. You have to have something in your life that's just an outlet.
What's the last drink that was put in front of you that you thought, oh boy, I don't know, but I guess I have to drink this?
Oh, can I say? I mean, I had tea recently with Harry Connick Jr., and he's lovely and wonderful, and that will be coming out in September. I'm not a big tea person, and it was a very earthy sort of, you know, like they had like, I don't know, roots or something, and it was quite good, but not really my cup of tea.
Yeah, okay, I get that.
I'm thinking back through all the things that I've had, and the only thing that I couldn't do was a gin martini, which was Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Yeah.
So I had to switch for vodka.
There you go.
Because of something that happened to me a long, long time ago, not far from Burnt Hills.
That's funny. Yeah, I prefer a vodka martini too. But Kate, we heard from one of your old teachers that you were a very passionate student. You loved to get into debates. You loved to share things about women and equality and all these things. But he also said that he used to challenge you to do the research and back up what you were saying. Now, how did that help you maybe in your career now?
Well, it tracks, doesn't it, that I would have been like that as a middle schooler, and now I have this job. I mean, my family would tell you that I'm the person that asks questions during the movies, like in the theater. I'll be like, wait, what does that mean? Which drives people crazy. But I'm pretty sure I know who that was that talked to you. I love the job of, I'm sure you guys do too, you know, telling stories and something different every day. And the research part of it is actually one of my most favorite parts of telling stories. And I did start gaining, for real, I started getting that experience as young as middle school, high school at Burnt Hills. I had some really great teachers. There was another one I'm thinking of, an English teacher in high school who's passed, unfortunately, but Mr. Horn, shout out. He was fantastic. Like, I had some I had a great experience at that high school, in that town. I still love Burnt Hills. We go back. I take my kids back, and they've seen my old house, and, you know, it's special to me.
That's great. That is really special. Well, Mr. Reynolds, he says hello. He's very, very proud of you, everybody at Burnt Hills-Ballston Lake. They're all very proud of you, but he said as a 12-year-old, you were very impressive, and he is not surprised at how far you've gone. So congratulations on that.
Well, I appreciate that. I saw him not too long ago when we were up there doing a story. I got to connect with him again.
That's great. Kate, for as long as you've been doing this and at the highest level, do you remember the last time you were nervous, either before or during an interview?
I tell people, Chris, that the most nerve-wracking time still to this day for me is when something is breaking, when there's something completely unpredictable has just happened, and I have like an earpiece in my ear, and somebody gets in my ear and says, oh my gosh, there's been a fill in the blank, right? Earthquake, shooting, just something tragic has happened. And I'm the one sitting in the chair, and I'm the one that has to do the special report sometimes, like when we break into network programming. And that is very nerve-wracking because you don't know what's going on. You're flying by the seat of your pants, and you're just trying to ask the right questions and get as much information as you can. And sometimes you're the only one, you and maybe one other person, your co-anchor perhaps, you're trying to just bat it back and forth and just be live for long stretches. I mean, that happened a couple of weeks ago on a story. So it's not uncommon. That particular one was a shooting. I've seen way too many mass shootings in this job. But that's one. And then the other, you asked about interviews. I did just interview the second lady, Usha Vance, a few months ago. And I was a little nervous about that, for sure. I mean, she's the second lady, right? So when it's somebody very high profile, and I've been blessed to have some of those interviews, that can be really like, you have to take deep breaths.
Good advice. I still need to take those deep breaths every day, for sure. And so we mentioned your show, NBC News Daily, that you co-anchor, and here locally in our area, it'll be airing at 3 p.m. right before a 4 p.m. newscast. What do you like so much about that show, and what's it like working with Zinkley? You guys have such a great relationship on, on the news. So what's that like?
Oh yeah. Well, it's all real. It's the way we are on TV, and it's the way we are when we're just sitting around talking. She is a joy to work with. I love working with her every day. She brings, obviously we all bring our own perspective and our own life experience, and her life experience is very different than mine. She was a documentary maker. I don't know if you guys know this, before she even got into television news. So she has a very filmic background. And she's brilliant. She's really smart. And she tells incredible stories as a reporter, too. So I think we have that in common. We both like to get out of the building and do some correspondent work, too. So that piece is great. NBC News Daily in general, what I love about it is, one, we have a great team. Some of them are in the control room right now. Shout out to them. We have a really great team that puts together the show every day. And as you guys know, when you're in news, and really we're trying to just do, if you haven't seen the show, we're doing a news-centric show. We are featuring our correspondents and some guests, like maybe a medical guest, a doctor, someone talking about mental health. We have recurring series that we do, like Mental Health Check and Daily Health and Parenting. We have a series on. But it's really all about the news of the day, and the show will change. We started at 8:30 this morning with one rundown, and it'll keep morphing and changing until we go on the air, because we want to be as up to date for you, the audience, as possible.
Wow, good perspective there, right, on what goes into putting a show like that together.
I know sometimes not a lot of people can tell all the work that goes in behind the scenes, right? Well, before we let you go, I want to ask you, what's your favorite hangout in Burnt Hills or around the area, right? I know you said you still come back, you bring your kids here, which is awesome. Where do you guys like to go?
Well, I have a couple. There's a place called the Country Store in Burnt Hills, if you haven't been there.
I know it.
It's kind of a throwback. You know it? Oh, Chris, it's so, I walk in there and I just feel nostalgic, right? Because it's been there my whole life, and I used to know the owners. I don't think I know the current owners, but I grew up, and now I'm going to place myself geographically here, but I grew up right behind, there was that orchard, there was an apple orchard behind the Country Store, and then another orchard that was behind my house, which now is a housing development, like now is a neighborhood with houses. But at the time, in the 70s and 80s, it was all apple orchards. So I grew up running around an apple orchard that was owned by my next door neighbor. And running over to the Country Store to get the penny candy out of the bins, if anybody remembers. So that's special to me. I would also say Lakeside Farms, which is a market that has amazing apples in the fall, but also corn and everything else, and really good New York cheddar cheese, and oh my gosh, apple fritters. Like, those are the things I miss. And Saratoga, I'm drawn to. Schenectady, I have memories. Like, you know, as a kid from Burnt Hills is a smaller place, right? So I traveled around a bit. Loved skiing growing up. So many things. Loved riding my bike everywhere.
You pointed out all the healthy things at Lakeside Farms. I usually end up with a cider donut or two. But yeah, it's a great spot. It's a great spot.
I don't think the apple fritter is healthy, Chris.
Okay, fair enough.
Just because apple's in it doesn't mean it's healthy. All right.
Yeah, no. Not super healthy.
All right. Well, Kate Snow, thank you so much for doing this with us on our new show, Capital Region Lifestyle. It's been great chatting with you. Check out NBC News Daily, 3 p.m. right before our 4 o'clock news. And check out The Drink with Kate Snow, also a great podcast.
Yeah.
Kate, thank you again.
For 62 years, Alpenhaus has helped families make more time for each other, away from the rush, away from the routine, and closer to the moments that matter. Because an RV isn't just about where you go. It's about having a place where everyone can come together. It's our 62nd anniversary sale, only at Alpenhaus, the Northeast premier outdoor destination. Don't put off that first trip. Right now, get this Coachman Leprechaun motorhome for as little as $575 a month.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on. For cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair, you can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
All right, Ash, whatever we didn't get to this week, maybe we get to next week.
Well, we won't have any more NBA or NHL, so we're starting to lose. I'm going to have to start watching baseball
But
again.
a bunch of great guests this week on Onorato and Miller. Thank you to everybody who found us.
Thanks to Caitlin
live
for
streaming.
pinch hitting for me.
And congratulations to Ash going into the Shaker Alumni Hall of Fame. Great to have you with us here on O&M. We'll see you next week.